Andrew England, the Daily Stormer, and the fall of right-wing irony. For those of you who don't know who Andrew England is, and you probably don't, unless you experienced the online right-wing counterculture of like the 2010s, and even then, if you were like only if you were like really into it. Andrew England was the founder of the pseudo neo-Nazi website, the Daily Stormer, because for those of people, if you're left wing and you hate Andrew England and you don't want to concede any footing, you'll just outright say, you will just outright say, I'm losing all my train of thought. Okay, sorry, I was in a distraction. You would outright say that he is a neo-Nazi. Okay, sorry, Andrew England. But if you were actually paying attention and you want to be completely honest, Andrew England was not a neo-Nazi, and the Daily Stormer was not a neo-Nazi website. It is not, and it was not. I mean, it was not. It might be now, but it wasn't. It was like this classic right-wing irony website that like parodied like outrage culture, and like it took advantage of like millennial self-deprecating humor and millennial like irony and stuff. And I would be lying, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to say that. But the fact of the matter is, you could see why it appealed to a lot of people, especially young men. The problem arose with the Daily Stormer. It was actually very successful. It was at one point, at the height of like the Alex Jones of InfoWars, it was more popular than InfoWars. The problem arose, whether you like the Daily Storm, Andrew England or not, which I don't. He's far right. He supports a lot of racialist ideas and a lot of aggressive ideas and stuff. But regardless if you liked him, you have to admit that it was extremely popular. The problem came, of course, after the Charlottesville rally of 2017. The Charlottesville rally was when a bunch of young men, and the rally was supported by Andrew England himself, went to Charlottesville to protest the removal of a statue of Robert E. Lee in Charlottesville, Virginia. And of course, a woman died, and Andrew England wrote a satire piece of the woman dying, making fun of the fact that she was fat, making fun of the fact that she was hit by a car, making fun of the fact that she had an abortion, that she possibly had an abortion, all that sort of stuff. Basically, a very, very lowbrow, online style, 4chan style humor, basically. Right. And this essentially sealed his fate. Not because we are not allowed to make jokes. Let's just set aside the fact that those jokes were very, very bad, and those jokes by themselves placed him in a position where he was going to be isolated to some degree, even by his own supporters, like the ones who are actually serious about what they're doing. But it sealed his fate because after that point, the site slowly began to lose its ironic readers. And it began to attract people who genuinely wanted to engage in violence, or people who had streaks of antisocial personality disorder. People who live on the fringes, people who are antisocial in nature, people who were attracted to it because they didn't belong in society and they wanted to find a place to belong. The types of people who celebrate violence. And of course, after that piece, he got heavily censored and stuff, and this only contributed to the problem. The people who were going on the deep web to read the Daily Stormer were the people who were antisocial in nature. And after the Charlottesville rally, not only did the Daily Stormer collapse, but the genuine Trump phenomenon collapsed. And the collapse of all of these, of a lot of things, like the rise of censorship, helped propel, help set in place for the fall of the online right-wing counterculture. If it wasn't going to be censored after the Trump election and during 2017, it most definitely was in 2018 after Charlottesville and stuff, which began to happen. He sealed his fate because the online counterculture slowly began to lose its sense of irony. And today, there is very, very little genuine irony left in the online counterculture. There's irony, but it comes with an implicit threat now. It's like you can tell the people who are making the jokes now, they're not actually doing it because it's like ironic. It's like poking fun stuff. A lot of these people are like genuine believers. Andrew Anglin's website and his style of humor lost popular support because he appealed to the extremists.